Should I go to the UK? Should I go to Australia? Should I go to Canada? Should I go to the United States, right? I'm biased. I myself have studied in the United States for my undergrad as well as my MBA. But let me tell you the reasons why I think that it's a lot better. First is the educational philosophy, okay? So it's truly about broadening your mind. It's about developing holistic thinkers. It's about excelling in diversity and change. And so they have a different way of approaching education than, for example, in India or UK, right? There's also a lot of flexibility. So what happens is in the United States, you can think of it as a 10 on 10 on flexibility. You get to take multidisciplinary courses, which means you don't have to only take what you love as your major. In fact, university ends up being 4 years instead of 3 like in the UK, because they have an extra year for you to take other courses that interest you. So you really get a wide variety of things that you get a chance to learn, right? Now, if the United States is a 10 on 10 on flexibility, India would be a 3 on 10, and Canada would be a 7 on 10, and even the UK would be a 3 on 10. Okay, so that flexibility is a big one. So the other one is that there's just deeper, better choices in the United States. First is in terms of the major. There are 1,800 majors. For example, people who want to do design or sound, somebody who wants to do gender studies, you'll get a lot of opportunity there for these. The other thing is that because of the amount of resources in the United States, the top 100 schools will give you a fantastic education. It's not that you have to get a seat at the top 10 schools or you're out of luck, right? The fourth one is a unique student body. Again, if you remember, we talked about how the universities care about finding a collectively diverse body, right, of students. So this person is a dancer, then a cancer researcher, a microbiologist, and so on. And so because of that diversity, you learn a lot from your peers. You might be in classes 15 to 20 hours a week, but the rest of the time you're with your peers, and that kind of diversity really allows you to think in a brand new and different way than what you're used to. The fifth one is courage to take risks. So the United States as a culture, they really want you to experiment. They want you to fail. They want you to mess up. They feel that makes you better at what you're going to do in the future. And so they push you to do things that are maybe out of your comfort zone. And the last one is global exposure. These top 10 schools, they would have 80 some countries applying. And I remember personally in my dorm, I was next door to somebody who had come from Turkey. Across the street was somebody from Brazil. And it was just fantastic. I think overall, we had 40% of our class was from a country outside of the United States when I went to Wharton. So that's something that's really unique and something I think that's quite special, okay? So the question is, how do you know, Tina, that the educational philosophy is so different? I have been there, so I can tell you. I've lived in India for about 15 years, but the first 25 years of my life were spent in the United States. But I will make it even easier for you to know. Did you know that 27% of the top 100 schools in the world are in the United States? India has 0. 34% of the top 100 companies are in the United States. India has 1. 403 Nobel Prize winners are in the United States. India has 12. $612 billion are spent on R&D India spends a fifth of that, right? Accordingly, I've also documented Germany, UK, and so on. So look at all of these, and you will say that the United States is outperforming every other country in these 4 dimensions, right? R&D, top schools, biggest companies, Nobel Prize winners. These are all indicators of education and the philosophy that they have in terms of learning, right? And so this is your proof of how you know that it's a very different environment to be in, okay? If you like what you heard, subscribe, join me, watch more. I have a lot. My shorts are really good, everything under a minute. So if you don't want to spend a lot of time thinking about this, you can just spend 60 seconds and you got everything you need, okay? Thanks, see you later.